Welcome back to another RX Muscle Supplement and Science Review. I am Dave Palumbo, joined by my very good friends, John and Charisse from Titan Medical. Guys, we've been trying to make this interview happen for quite some time now, and I'm so excited to get you here because we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, finally. I'm so ecstatic. It's been probably about a year that every month I'll text you like, we're going to get it in. We're going to get it in.
Well, you know what it is? You were sick and I had surgeries and we couldn't make it work. But you know what? You guys have so many new great things out and available that I really want to talk about. Rejuvenation, regeneration, fat loss, and there's so many exciting topics to bring up. And I think probably the most exciting new topic in weight loss, because let's face it, everyone wants to get lean. That's probably 90% of the people's goals out there is to lose body fat. These GLP-1 agonist peptides that are available now, a lot of people know them in the pharmacy world as Ozempic, Mounjaro. That's all the celebrities in Hollywood are using these now. And, you guys sell these as well. And, which is a great service that you're offering. And I'll tell you why, because there's such a demand on the regular market that they're not available in pharmacies. It's crazy.
Right. Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's all on back order, and that's why the compound pharmacies are making it.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It works for both, diabetes type 2 type patients. So it has 2 FDA approvals for semaglutide, which is the active ingredient in most of these things like Ozempic. Yeah. And basically, type 2 diabetes is one medication that was FDA approved for those patients. The next FDA approval came from chronic weight management. And that's when it kind of opened the floodgates, because when type 2 diabetic patients were losing all this weight and they had it in the clinical studies, obviously it was a good way to make this product available for other patients out there. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like almost like Viagra, right? Sildenafil. Sure. So when that came on the market, originally they were trying to get that as a blood pressure medication. Well, they seen the side effect was blowing the blood extreme to the extremities, and vasodilate. So it's definitely going to be a game changer for all the different patients out there. And like you said, it's in a high demand, but a shortage out there for the commercial products. And that's really where the compound pharmacies come into play.
Yeah, I sent a few people over to you that were basically clients of mine that I was working with that just had, number one, poor blood sugar control, but not terrible. They weren't like type 2s, but they were waking up with 100, 105, 110 fasting blood sugars, and they were just really resistant to weight loss. And they were eating the right foods. I had them on a diet. I had them doing cardio. They were losing, but not consistency. They had problems with always being hungry and snacking. And this GLP-1 agonist, between whether it be the semaglutide or the new one that's the generic version of Mounjaro, which is 2 different peptides, works really well because, like you said, it lowers blood sugars, fasting blood sugars. It reduces hunger. It makes you feel full longer. And then it has this mystical weight loss that goes along with it. Why is causing the weight loss? I have a couple theories of my own, but it works. It does work. Right. And the thing about it that's so great is that it's a once a week shot. It's so that's not intrusive into your life, right? It's so easy to do.
Absolutely.
Easy to do and easy to keep up with. The whole point of this too, while we're on this topic, is while you're on this therapy, it's incredibly important while you get the appetite suppression on it, is to make those lifestyle changes now.
Sure.
Right. So that way you're not, eating all the bad foods and you're just hungry and you don't care. You're just going to grab the first thing that is down the street or first thing that's on your Uber Eats app that's going to get to fastest. Right. That's not the way to do it. So the whole point is during this window of however long you decide to be on it or the providers decide to recommend it for, this is the time for you to make the lifestyle changes and to pick the right foods. And that way, you can maintain the weight once it comes off.
Well, the good thing about it also is it doesn't kill your appetite. It just makes you feel full longer. So whereas a lot of people would eat their meals, they have their 4 or 5 meals they're eating a day because they're into that bodybuilding workout lifestyle. But between meals, they were really hungry and they were snacking. Now, every single person that's on this protocol is telling me, we're just not hungry between meals. It doesn't, we don't have to feel a need to go grab something to eat. We can make it to the next meal. And that's, I think the more compliance on the diet is leading to better results. And obviously if you combine it, like you said, with a healthy diet, high protein, low to moderate carb, and good essential fats, you're going to lose weight, and you're going to actually look good when you lose the weight. And I think that's a very important thing to at least our community of people,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, it's awesome medication, right? I mean, when it first came out, I was kind of like hesitant. Is this really going to work as good as they say it's going to work, right? Because some of the studies are just amazing. So when we started this out and all these patients were losing all this weight, which was awesome, it's like a love-hate relationship with the medication, because I love it because it works so good, but I hate it because it works so good, because some people, they don't change like they should, right? And we're all about a healthy lifestyle. So even if you're on HRT with us or whatever therapy may be, the whole point is to get activity in, whether it's exercising, walking, whatever it may be, getting the proper nutrition plan in front of you, and then getting some sleep and recovery along with it. This creates a good, healthy environment and a good routine. Well, I mean, this medication is so good that some people don't make those lifestyle changes, still get the result.
Yeah.
It's almost like a crutch for them, but it works for everybody pretty much. So, you got to love it for that, because, there's a lot of people out there have tried different diets out there, different supplementations, all these different exercise or fad diets, and they never get the result, right? And it's frustrating to them. It basically, it turns them off to exercising and want to be healthy. So when they get these results, it's more motivating, I think, for them in all, and obviously boosts their confidence and the health side of it. I mean, not even just the weight loss effect, but when we talk about controlling the sugar levels, right? This can, if sugar levels are high, obviously can lead to type 2 diabetes. And then that can also affect kidneys, heart, brain function. And then, we talk about the anti-aging effect of it too. We know that if our sugar levels are high, cellular deterioration is at a rapid rate, where this slows it down. Where, in the study for metformin, same thing, but this is better because metformin at high doses can damage the kidneys too.
For sure.
So when we talk about the injectable version, plus it's easy compliance with the patient, it's not a once a day type deal, like maybe like a peptide or whatever it may be, where they have to take the medication consistently. It's once a week, like you said. So it's very simple and easy to comply with. And the results, they come pretty quick for patients out there. So it's exciting.
Almost too quick.
It's exciting.
Well, you know what? And no one's overdosing on this stuff, which is great, because it's got a built-in thing that doesn't allow you, because if you take too much of it, what happens? You get nauseous and you feel terrible.
Yeah.
She forgot she double dosed herself by accident because she forgot she took the dose for the week.
I've had patients do it.
3 days.
I've had patients do it. Because remember, they're taking this minute dose, right? This very, very tiny amount. And, they'll reconstitute the bottle or whatever, get the bottle if it's already reconstituted. And there's just this much in the bottle. And they're like, are you sure this is? We're like, yes, it's right. Then when they draw it out, they're like, are you sure it's right? Yeah. So, you got the one person that decides that they want to go and take the whole syringe. Yes. And then next thing you know, they're calling us from the side of the road, puking and saying, what am I going to do? And I'm like, hey,
it's a wonderful built-in mechanism. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's that, but you know what? I think what it does is with people who have insulin problems, and the reason I say insulin problems is because it goes back to how they process carbohydrates. Do they produce enough insulin? Do they have the right insulin receptors? It's a whole spectrum of insulin problems. Those people get the best results with these drugs, because it fixes all those problems, is what it does.
That's right. Yeah. And I think
if I were to take the drug, I would disappear. You know what I mean? It wouldn't. I don't have any insulin problems, so it would not work well with me. I would probably be emaciated on the stuff because I don't need it. So it works well for people who need it, but not everyone needs it, right?
Not everybody needs it. Listen, if you're trying to lose that little last bit of 5 or 10 pounds, that's where we'll push it more into the direction of maybe AOD or, some ECAs or whatever, another therapy versus trying to go on something that you might lose 20 to 30 pounds on.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. Now, one of the other amazing things that you guys are offering over there, because like I said, it is not available readily in pharmacies because they're out of stock on this stuff because so many people are using it. Matter of fact, so many people want it that the diabetics can't even get it. The people who really need it for blood sugar control. But a lot of these websites for the companies that make the stuff are offering these coupons. If you're prescribed it, it's $25 for the month. But Once those coupons are expired and they don't work anymore, it goes up to the regular price, which could be over $1,000 per month.
The hook.
So
That's
it's funny that you're saying that too. I was reading some articles about pharmacies, little small mom and pop ones, closing down because when they were actually refilling the medication for Ozempic, they were actually losing like $50 every time they filled the medication.
Wow.
So, so the pharmacy was like, this isn't worth it to us to even sell. So then you got pharmacies just taking they're taking their hat out of the game basically, and they're shortening up the supply for everybody else out there. Luckily compounding pharmacies can make this, especially in the time of need. And it's readily available as far as that goes. I mean, another good one is tirzepatide. So that is the bigger, stronger brother of semaglutide. It outweighs it in 3 different ways. 1, control blood sugars. Hemoglobin A1C is controlled a lot better with tirzepatide. 2, the weight loss factor and function of it. 3, the nausea.
Yeah, there's no nausea with this one.
So
I think I've maybe got maybe 3 or 4 patients in the past like 60 days that have complained about a little bit of nausea, but there really isn't any nausea.
Well, I mean, even with our semaglutide therapies, we offer and we combined another therapy along with that would curb the nausea. So even if the patient would get nausea, if they take the medication that we give them along with it, then it'll curb that and they won't have that effect either way.
What's that? What medication is that?
It's more of a therapy. It's B complex and ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a capsule.
So it's a capsule that we take along with that. I mean, there is something else that we can prescribe to as well. That is more of a medication. But we don't want to prescribe medications and have people take medications if they don't need them.
Yeah, only if you need it.
I tell people a lot of the nausea and uncomfortableness sometimes has to do with the fact that it slows the transit of food through your intestinal tract. So make sure you use a good fiber supplement. I always recommend my fiber supplement from Species Nutrition, Fiberlize. But drink enough fluids too, right? You have to drink a lot of water with this too, so you don't get bad.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
got to make sure you're hydrated.
Yeah, water's key in any situation scenario. I mean, to have a healthy body, I mean, it does so much. So, obviously they want to definitely stay hydrated. I mean, like Cherie said, they want to definitely pick different foods than they're eating currently, probably because it's probably not too good for them, and find some sort of exercise program that they can get on to help them expedite these results. Like I said, tirzepatide, it's 1 injection weekly along, just like semaglutide. And it's very effective for patients that are out there.
We're just beating it into them that it's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
It's a lifestyle change.
Most of the people watching this show already live the lifestyle, so that's not an issue for them. It's just something doesn't work metabolically correctly in their system, and this fixes it.
Right.
And the cost, we're not going to talk about cost, but the cost that you guys offer this at is a way, way lower than what it is in the pharmacy, which I don't even know how you do it, but I applaud you for making it more affordable for the regular person.
I'm glad that we could do that for them, and make it affordable so that people can take it.
That was the biggest thing. The thing was like, there's other clinics out there and they're selling this and it's really expensive. For us, it was like, listen, if we can make this, a third of the cost of what somebody's paying in the pharmacies or what somebody would go by themselves, it's a winner, right? And we can help a lot more people get healthier that way. Because obviously the people that really need this lose the weight, and this can create better health down the road for them. At that point, it's a winner for everybody all the way around. I was even interviewed the other day and they were talking about bodybuilders using this, right? And I was like, oh, I got to talk to Dave about this. So, what do you think about this too as well? Because I
have some people taking it. I have some female clients use. Yeah, very effective.
Right? Yep. It's very effective. I mean, and some of these people, like we were talking about before, they have insulin resistance, and like you were talking about, reversing that insulin resistance, that's key for some of these people. And some of these people that are competing, I think it's going to be a game changer for them. They were more asking them, do you think it's going to waste muscle? Right? If somebody takes this. And I don't think so.
They're eating.
If they're getting the right macros and it's properly done right there, they're supplementing correctly, I don't think they're going to have a problem. I think they're going to lean up like crazy. And if they're getting to the point where they feel like that, they can always stop the medication.
Right.
So, so then it's not an ongoing thing and they're not worried about
it. I probably would stop at 2 weeks before a competition, just in case you don't want to get backed up. Because a lot of times people get constipated in the last 2 weeks. So once you're in shape, you could put, like you said, you could just stop it. There's no repercussions or negative, rebound.
For sure.
And I did see some articles about some celebrities coming out and talking about a yo-yo effect with semaglutide, specifically Ozempic, right? And it was funny because they're already overweight, They never changed anything, and that's the problem.
They go back to eating normal. Yeah,
and they go back. And they keep eating the same way, right? And then it goes more because the semaglutide's not curbing the appetite.
And then they go back on it again.
So I mean, they can't really complain that the medication doesn't work because it works very effectively across the board. But it's just funny that I see people out there like that instead of making a lifestyle change, and then they would probably keep the weight off. But it's just funny that I see that out there. And then the Ozempic face.
Yeah. Yeah, but John, what the funny thing is? These people have to get their stomach stapled to lose weight, to go on a healthy diet. Because what happens when you get your stomach stapled? You can't eat those greasy meals. You got to eat small meals. Right. So like, why not just go on the diet and just skip the surgery? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. you know,
for sure. Why even mess with
self-control, man? Self-control.
Yeah.
They're not in charge of their own lives.
That's a really that's like my most exciting modality that you guys are offering now, because I do have a lot of clients that kind of fit into that category and have contacted you, and everyone tells me your whole staff is so courteous, so accommodating.
Yeah, better be.
They follow up, they text, they call. It's a pleasure sending clients over to you guys. Really, it is.
That makes us very happy. Yeah. I mean, we work very hard for the customer service. I mean, that's one of the things I feel like sets us apart from a lot of other clinics out there, or even just generally speaking. I mean, I went to a doctor's appointment the other day, and I walk in and they're on their cell phone. They're not even looking at me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sign in, and I hope you can check me in at some point, you know, but it's important. Customer service is important because you're not finding customer service anywhere you go anymore.
No.
So it's just that much more important. I'm glad to hear that.
Especially with patient care. I mean, we're not selling TVs or box lunches or whatever, it's serious. Like, people really want to know what's going on with them, have somebody monitor them, be in contact with them if something's up or there's some issue. I mean,
be able to get a hold of somebody if something's going on.
It's really big. So we take great pride in that here at Titan Medical Center, for sure.
And I could say this, personally, because I'm a client of yours. Obviously, I get my glutathione and I get my I have HCG, and I get different modalities from you, and I have to do my checkup with the doctor, my telemedicine visit, and they're so nice. They ask the right questions. They're knowledgeable, which is something you don't get at a lot of other clinics. A lot of people don't. These are just doctors that sign scripts and stuff like that. Your people actually know what they're prescribing,
Yes.
No, it makes me happy. I'm glad to hear that too.
Yeah.
I am glad to hear that. I like happy people.
Now, one of the things that I found was that I really love. It's a therapy I've been using with you guys since day one, and I have not stopped. And you know what? Is the glutathione injections. Okay.
That's a big one.
I'm a creature of habit. I'll take it every day. I'll never miss a day. Some people can't do that because they forget. They only take it a couple times a week, and that's fine. If you want to take it 2-3 times a week, I take it every single day. And I'm going to tell you this: I got young kids. You guys know about young kids.
Yep.
All they do is bring sickness home from school.
I know.
Cold,
so true.
So true. And coughing, and I never get sick. If I get sick for a half a day,
Yes, sir.
And I'm saying this, even if I get sick tomorrow, it doesn't matter, because in the past 7 years since my son's been born, I haven't gotten sick for any length of time. I got hit with COVID once, and that was it. Aside from that, these little annoying sniffles and all the stuff that they bring home, I don't get it, because you know why? My immune system is up here. I take vitamins and all that other stuff too, but I really believe that the glutathione has bolstered my immune system.
For sure.
Mother of antioxidants, super antioxidant, produced in the liver naturally, gets depleted by sickness, toxins, alcohol, smoking, all these things. So it's something that we need to replenish our body with. It's a big one, right? And it has so many different functions, from fortifying and boosting the immune system, getting rid of free radicals in the body. It also helps with liver functions too. So there's a lot of patients out there, and we're talking about these patients earlier, right?
Big one.
Fatty livers. They go their general practitioner. Practitioner does a CMP on them, which is a comprehensive metabolic panel. Test ALT, AST in there, which is their liver functions. These things come back triple digits, and they say, "Oh, you got a fatty liver. Change your diet." So, this could be a problem.
Or freak them out with some ultrasound or something.
Yeah, saying, hey, listen, because some general practitioners, that's like red alert, red alert. For us, we're like, listen, we can help them fix this, and we usually get it down within what treatment. And like you said, keeping you not from getting sick. It's more of a preventative too as well. And you can take this along with, any of our other therapies out there too.
Well,
and still,
I want to say what I combine it with is if I do get sick, like when I got COVID, I will add in the Triimmune instead, which is I believe it's vitamin C, zinc, and glutathione together. The reason I don't use that all the time, I probably would, is it hurts a little bit. So I use the glutathione on a regular basis.
It does. Yeah, it's a little pain.
Yeah.
No, I mean that one. I mean, you're going to take the little virtual pain that you get, but you're talking about a very highly concentrated dose of these therapies and medications. So when we talk about glutathione, when you're injecting the glutathione by itself, it's 200 milligrams per ml. Well, in the Triimmune, you're talking about 200 milligrams per ml still, plus 200
the other stuff.
Yes, we're talking about 200 milligrams of vitamin C per ml, and then we're talking about 5 milligrams of zinc per ml.
Right.
So it's a highly concentrated dose, which you will feel it a little bit, but it's going to do its job.
We have some little secrets behind the scenes we won't disclose right here, and I'll text Dave when I'm done.
Okay.
And then maybe if anybody is a patient and they're in this situation or they become a patient, I'll let you know the small secret that there is to making sure that the shot doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah. And with glutathione or any of the therapies we talked about today, like semaglutide, tirzepatide, there's no blood work needed for that. All you have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork, see a medical provider. Whether it's telemedicine
we don't need
or
blood
you
work
come in
for
the
that.
office, we can help them out, and it's a very simple and easy process. They don't got to go to a lab or anything like that. The only thing you have to do blood work for is like HRT, vitamin D, and that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, just those two.
You know?
Yeah, just hormones and
why vitamin D?
D.
Why vitamin D?
You got to make sure that listen. So you could do vitamin B12, right? And then whatever your body doesn't utilize, it's water soluble. It's excreted, right? Yeah. However, vitamin D, if you have enough vitamin D, you don't need any more vitamin D, because if you take too much vitamin D, it can become toxic.
Yep.
So the last thing you want to do is not have a baseline reading on somebody that you're going to give vitamin D to, especially, let's say it's a 50,000 IU shot of vitamin D a week or
you guys give shots of it. Okay, I understand. You're right.
Yeah. So we don't want to give them too much. So having that baseline is super important because it could be toxic.
Yeah, that's why we want to make sure that we're not going to give them too much vitamin D. It's oil based. It stays in the body, and it definitely can hurt the person or patient.
Yeah.
And you guys also, I applaud you, because a lot of clinics also like to just prescribe, because the more they sell, the more money they make, obviously. And I've sent people to you, and I knew they were a wreck, and I knew that there was problems, but I'm like, I'm going to let Titans doctors tell them that, because they're not listening to me. And you guys are like, there's no way we're putting you on this stuff, because you got to get this right. You got to get that right. You got to improve this. And you will help them do that. And they get mad, but I'm like, you know what?
They get mad. But
they told you,
they get over it.
You're not listening to me. Now you got a doctor telling you it. So
yeah, listen, they might get upset in the beginning, right? But once we start explaining to them, like, listen, I tell them, I swear I've been saying this for 11 years. We've been open now, going on 11, and I'm telling you, listen, you can't look good if you're in a hospital bed or if you're 10 feet under. So who cares? I'm like, at this point, you need to be healthy, and I don't care. I want to get my stuff, and I don't care about anything else. I'm like, well, guess what? We care. We care. We want to make sure nothing happens to you.
Because I had a guy with some high kidney function, and I told him, I said, we got to detox you. I want to lower your protein. Let's get your kidney function back to normal. He's like, I want to get on HRT. I said, all right, fine. He goes to you. Of course, you test him, kidney function high. You told him the exact same thing I did. And you know what? He listened to you guys. And then he came back to me and said, all right, what do I got to do? And we fixed it. We went back to you. And then you put him on HRT. And one thing I want to mention is, if people mention Dave Palumbo, RX Muscle, you guys give a very nice discount. So I want to thank you.
Yes, we will take care of all of Dave's people. So all you got to do is mention his name, and we will give you a discount on everything pretty much. The only thing that's not discounted is the hormones. But everything else is discounted.
Now, let me ask you this question. Okay, obviously the tirzepatide, which is the generic of Mounjaro, is the big thing that's coming out, that's just came out. What do you see the future being of, what you guys prescribe, and what do you say? It might not be available now, but you see it maybe in the near future, something coming that might get people excited.
I mean, there's a couple other weight loss medications they're working on right now that could be game changers. But they're in third phase of some of these trials and stuff like that. There's nothing that I've seen that's really going to change the game as of right this second. But hey, I'm always looking for those cutting edge therapies.
Sure.
And we've been on the path of creating our own signature blend, a couple other ones like we have with Hercules and Titan Complete and such. That I think are going to be game changers when it comes across the board, and we'll be the first and only people to have it. So I think, we're working on those formulations. As far as the pharmaceutical side, I mean, listen, they've got like some anti-aging drugs. Like I've seen a trial they did with mice, reversing aging in mice. I mean, there's some really cool things.
The one thing, how about the Epitolon?
Oh, so
I mean, I feel like it wasn't a thing, and now it's becoming a thing.
I think it's always been a thing. I just don't think a lot of people know Epitolon, what it is. And basically, when we talk about anti-aging or we talk about genetic disease, right? We talk about our telomeres, and telomeres shorten as we age, and as they shorten, that's when more genetic onslaught of disease can come into play. Right. Well, Epitolon, they actually lengthens the telomeres or keeps the telomeres where it's at. And it's only a treatment you usually take like maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times a year tops. So it's not something you have to ongoingly do. But the study behind it and the research, I mean, it looks pretty promising.
That's cutting edge.
And it's been out for a while. Yeah, more people are starting to know about it than ever, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like we're looking for the next best thing that's going to, make longevity a real thing for us and keep the look that we have too as well.
And we got to make sure, over here, I'm always, the safety girl. I might as well just have worn actually like, the orange vest. I might as well put that on with a flag or something, because that's me in the office. Like, stop. No. But I mean, we wait for, the medications to clear and have a good safety profile. Like once they got a good safety profile, and we know it's going to be healthy for the patient, side effects, we know everything that's going on, that's when we'll move forward with it. Like for instance, patients that have a history of, let's just say, this is one of the big ones, of thyroid nodules, they cannot take semaglutide and such.
GLP-1.
They can't take any of those. They can't.
Or pancreatic nodules either. Pancreatic issues too, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Yep. You got that. And then like a pituitary adenoma, that kind of stuff, that falls in the same category. So, it's important. We always put health before anything else. Yeah. It's everything else is after that.
That is one plus though with semaglutide and tirzepatide is that, before there wasn't really good weight loss medications out there. There was phetramine, there's fetrometrazine, right? Big Pharma doesn't offer ECA Stack Plus and AOD, right? So with this, I mean, it was stimulant based and you couldn't take it for a long extended period of time. And it was an appetite suppressant. It wasn't a weight loss medication. So, that's the benefit of semaglutide and tirzepatide. It's good for people and they can take it if they have cardiovascular issues, where a person that has cardiovascular issues is not going to be able to take phentermine. Health, to take for long extended periods of time. That's something where phentermine and fetrometrazine you can't do. You're supposed to be 30 on, 30 off, and start rotating. And people stand for a long extended period of time. They build a tolerance to it. It doesn't work like it should, and they still start gaining weight, and they don't have the energy they had before, or not going like they're not because they're not taking their phentermine. So that's the benefit of it. I mean, it's going to help a number of different patients out there, the masses, and even if they have health issues, they're going to still be able to take this and hopefully help some of those issues out.
High cholesterol,
blood pressure.
When you're overweight, you have other issues going on. You have hyperlipidemia, which is high cholesterol, hypertensive issues, which is high blood pressure. You got a lot of different things. And even if you want to push it to the next level, think about it. A lot of people that are overweight, they're depressed, they're down, they're down, they're upset with it. They give up or whatever it might be. So, listen, at the end of the day, let's all be real, right? Everybody wants instant gratification.
Absolutely.
And there's not every single therapy is going to give you instant gratification. Sometimes you got to wait. You got to wait 2-3 weeks. Sometimes even with testosterone, you got to get it into your system. You got to wait 2-3 weeks before you actually really start feeling good. But this is one of the instant gratification ones. So
absolutely.
As far as testosterone replacement goes, because that used to be the main thing we talk about. Now we have all these other things to talk about. But, obviously a lot of people come to you specifically for hormone replacement. Yeah. And as a male now, I know that, one of the protocols used to be the HCG, and HCG is not available. What are you guys prescribing now these days with your testosterone therapies?
So we usually right now we're having majority of patients taking clomiphene.
Mhm.
So clomiphene's in a capsule. It's not clomiphene, but enclomiphene, and it's in the same family. The molecular structure is different though, and it works very well. Right? It works with one, making sure that there's no atrophy in the testicles. Two, making sure the semen production is there, and for patients that have not taken testosterone before, and let's say they're 22 years old, we really don't want to put them on a testosterone regimen right away. We'll put them on a clomiphene with an estrogen blocker at a pretty good dose, and that usually jumps their levels pretty well. So that's one that we've replaced HCG with. Kisspeptin is another good one.
Good one. And then finally, we do have some of the HCG back.
So we have commercial,
but it is manufactured.
Yeah, it's commercial.
Okay. Yeah, because I always wondered why they didn't make a synthetic form of the HCG, which I guess now they're doing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, Pregnol, they've been having Pregnol for a long time, and that's what HCG is. It's just when that biological license ran out, as far as the exemption, I heard one compounding pharmacy is trying to get the biological license. It's a couple $1 million, but they monopolized the market if they did.
Yeah.
Think how many people still want HCG out there.
Yeah.
So there's somebody. It's open for somebody to do. It's just somebody's got to be able.
We finally have access to it for a little. I mean, I don't promise it, but we do have access to it.
Okay.
It's just more expensive.
Yeah, because you have to buy the name brand now, right? Is that
now it's brand name.
But the clomiphene has worked very well. Kisspeptin's worked very well for patients. The other third option, which is probably not the best, is gonadorelin. A lot of clinics went to gonadorelin because they were supposed to have it. I mean, it's just, you have to take it multiple times for it to even work a day. So it's not good for a patient.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And some people just like to take testosterone and they don't find that they have any atrophy, or they feel good and they don't necessarily. Right. I know people that are on HRT and they don't even get high estrogen levels. They just don't convert a lot, at that level, I guess.
Yeah. We have people that, if that is the case, which typically is not all the cases, but we do case by case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And if they, if they feel like their estrogen's too low, we just send them back in, get an estrogen reading. And hey, listen, if the estrogen's low, it's low. Boom, we switch up the regimen and be done with it.
We dial them in.
You go by blood work is really what it amounts to.
You can't go, everything else you're just throwing at the wall and hoping it sticks, you know?
You go by two things here. Because general practitioners, they just look at numbers on blood work. We want to look at blood work, and we want to hear the patient's symptoms and how they're feeling.
And you're listening.
And you're collaborating both of those things together to make the best decision for the patient, right?
Excellent. Well, you guys are doing great stuff over there. There's so many modalities, and I encourage people to contact TitanMedicalCenter.com, get the phone number off the website, tell them I sent you, you'll get your discount, but and then the doctors can discuss with you what you need for your particular goals and what you have in mind. And I think that's it'll take the guesswork out of it. Some people know what they want, but some people really don't know what they want, and they want to discuss it with the doctor. And that's what your staff is really great at doing. So I want to thank you guys for always supporting RX Muscle, for supporting me, my family, and then of course being there for our patients and the people who come.
We want to mutually thank you, because you have been there through. We've been working together for years now, and you've supported us through all these years as well. It's a two-way street. It's nice to have real true friends and real true support through the years as you are growing businesses and so forth.
Yeah. We love you, Dave. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you. And I got to come down and see your new offices. I haven't yet seen them.
Yes.
After I recover from this, when this surgery is over,
I'm gonna send you a ride up there. I'm gonna go have my driver come pick you up and bring you down. Then you can't say nothing.
That's right. Well, guys, once again, I appreciate you filling us in on the newest modalities over at TitanMedicalCenter.com. I know a lot of people are going to be contacting you, and keep doing what you do, and you're doing great stuff.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you.
We love you.
All right, guys. And that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscle Supplement and Science. I'm Dave Palumbo with John and Charisse. We'll see you next time.